Hey, this is Carl, and today we're going to unbox one of the annihilators, so stay tuned. So like I said in the intro, this is one of the annihilators, and I think this is probably the last one coming. I think Silver Surfer is gonna probably take a while before I get him. And like I said in other videos, Quasar is not yet open for pre-order, although the renders were already revealed. And as for Beta Ray Bill, I don't think that there's any scope of him yet. But the studio does have two Beta Ray Bills in production. One was a Viking Beta Ray Bill, and the other one was a companion piece to the Sideshow's Thor. Let's start the unboxing. I'm quite surprised that this statue came in a very small box. So I'm guessing this is probably the smallest annihilator. Okay, so it came with an art box. In case you're wondering who this guy is, here you go. We're going to unbox Nova. Like I said, it came with an art box, so here we go. Here's Nova. Here's the side of the box. It says 8F1 Cosmic. Testing. Okay, so I have actually made a video about this already. I've unboxed it, assembled it, and already said my first impressions. Unfortunately, the batteries on my microphone, on my camera died. So out of the 29 minutes of footage that I have, only 3 minutes of them have audio. So I'm just going to say my first impressions again for the statue and end the video after. So here we have is the custom quarter scale Nova. This guy is part of the Annihilator line that I am currently collecting. So let's talk more about Nova. This is obviously a museum type statue which comes with some switchouts. So first, let's talk about the concept. Like I said, this is just a museum type statue like the rest of the Annihilator line. We have Nova's logo down here, and as well as on the base. That's similar to the base for Gladiator and Ronan. And we have this thunder looking thing surrounding the sub base, and this is supposed to be glow in the dark. But I kind of don't like that they added that, but it's just a small thing. It's probably just nitpicking. And going up to Nova, he's just standing up with hands down. Anatomy is pretty great, as you can see. He's probably too muscular than other Novas, but I actually really like it. It kind of looks like that this is the most strongest form of Nova. So on his left hand we have this power effect thing. Yeah. So we have this on his left hand. It's a power effect thing, kinda similar to a Shoryuken by Ryu or Ken. And as for a switch out, we have this simple close fist left hand. But unfortunately, this one won't go into my statue. For some reason, as you can see, it's actually not that of a big deal because I'm not going to use this switch out anyway, and this is the obvious one that I will be using. But that's definitely a miss in my opinion. And for the right hand we have this switch out where you can place his helm on his right hand like this. And obviously, if you're going to use that switch out, we are going to use the Unmasked Portrait. Kinda like this. On his lower part, on his boots, it doesn't have any textures to it on the blue parts or the golden parts. So no textures there. But since the gold parts is supposed to be like metal or steel, you can tell that it is because of the edges. It's sharper than usual, and we can see some muscle definitions here, great shading by the factory. And up top on his legs, there's definitely a lot of textures there. And you can also see some veins that are popping out. It's highlighted pretty well. I kinda don't like the color that they use here since it's black and Nova is supposed to be blue. But I do want to have this repainted, so it'll have some metallic blues and some light blues to complement the metallic blue. Hopefully I can get that done this year. But let's talk more about the statue. Again, like I said, this is black and it has some white powder to it. Honestly, it kind of looks like that it's a chainmail because it looks like that it's steel because of the color plus the patterns of the texture. Going to his belt, similar to the boots, no textures there. And on his side here, there seem to be some bubbles, I think, or this was sculpted. Not sure. But they could have added some putty here to make it smooth, but I'm not sure. Okay, so going up to his body, we have some clear raisins here. Again, no textures or anything on the gold parts. And there seems to be some problem here on the middle of his chest. There's a lot of white paint on the blue part. I've already contacted the commissioner about that, and he told me that I just need to put some water on a towel or something and rub it off. So let's try that. I have some wet wipes here, so this is what I'm going to use. And he said it's just powder and should be easily removed. And yeah, it actually does. Might as well clean the other parts of his chest. There's also some yellow parts on the... there's also some white powder on his on the gold parts, so I'm gonna get that as well. Let's see. There's actually some fingerprint up here. So, oh, it's not fingerprint. I think it's 3D print lines. So in case you're wondering, this guy is actually produced by the same factory as the Magneto on Throne. So I'm not surprised if it's gonna have such problems. So yeah, as you can see, the white stuff on his chest is no longer there. It's pretty clean now. And let's put back the mask portrait. Remove this one. This is actually pretty thin, the helm, so you need to be careful. The helm itself is pretty thin, as well as this red star on the middle. Actually, the helm and the portrait itself is a little bit different because this star thing is taller on the portrait and it's shorter on the switch out. And there's actually a cheap paint over here. I don't know if that's visible. Okay, so let's put back this switch out with the power effect. Okay, there you go. Remove this and put on the closed fist hand. So let's talk about his arms, and let's go to the hand. There seem to be no molding issues with the fingers. They don't look like they're glued together. They are separated pretty well, but I do have a pretty big bubble here on his middle finger. Wonder why that is. It's not visible on this hand because of the power effect thing. Let's check out the other hand. So the bubble is not visible on both of these switch out. So that's good. It's the separation for the finger is consistent for all hands. They definitely look good and not glued to each other. Although these are clear resin as well as this and this doesn't have a light up feature, but I'm guessing they are glow in the dark. So let's take a look at the portrait. Let's take a look at this portrait first. The skin tone is pretty good. Kinda felt like it was done by Sideshow. The eyes are decals, and I think they added a bit of gloss effect there. But the hair is painted lazily. It's just one color, no highlights or shading or whatever, as well as the eyebrow. The lips are pink, and in the mask portrait, his eyes are white, which is good. I do prefer them to be like that. And you can actually see the eyebrows a bit, and they still painted it with one color, but that's not a big problem. It's not even visible. Lips are painted pink still, and yeah, there's actually a chip here on the right part of the helm, on the right eye part of the helm. Yeah, there's a chip here They did not fix it. They just painted it over. It's a bit noticeable, but since I'm considering having this guy repainted, I'll just have the painter fix that. It's a minor issue, but it is an issue. What else? Oh, there's a lot of veins at the back of Nova, and all of them are highlighted pretty well. Yeah. So the blue parts on his armor or suit doesn't have textures as well, but this part here does have some bubbles. I wonder why they didn't fix it. So yeah, I think that's probably all for the first impression. The paint is nice, but it's too dark for me. I'm not sure if I wanted this kind of gold or on the Nova, or I want a really shiny kind of gold. Tell me down in the comments below on what you prefer. As for the color on the gold or yellow parts on Nova suit. And as for the anatomy and the sculpt, I love it 100%. I really thought that I would not love this Nova as much as the other custom Novas around, but it does look pretty good when you have it on hand. It's just that again, the paint is too dark. This one looks pretty good, although it does have some bubbles here. Yeah, there's some bubbles here in the inside. I don't know if they could control the bubbles, but I think it would have looked good if they added a lot of bubbles all throughout this power effect thing. And as for concept, yeah, it's pretty simple since it's a museum type statue. And yeah, so I'm just going to wait for the rest of my annihilators, but so far I do have a custom beta reveal, the one from Halimao. And Silver Surfer, I do have that Silver Surfer, the one with the big base, but it's currently at the painter. I had it repainted. And I also have that Sideshow one, which I displayed above there, so you can see the base probably. So that's the end of the unboxing, assembly, and first impression. I think that's already a review. I don't think there's still anything left to say for this statue since it's just a museum type statue. It's pretty simple. Yeah. Thank you for watching till the end. Like and subscribe. This is Carl, and see you in the next one.